Well, hello, I'm making this quick video to show you a bit of how a Rogue Engine works, what's it about. So this is basically the engine itself. I'm moving with my mouse and with WASD, Q and E like this. So it has this kind of movement. It also has the orbit camera, which you can use to move around with a right click. And yeah, so you can select your cube, for instance, the one that everyone deletes always at the beginning of a project. You're going to leave it there for a while so you can play around with it. So for instance, you can create a component. Let's call it the rotator. Let's call it like this, which is rotator, right? So all we want to do is rotate our cube. We're going to do this using only Three.js, right? Because that's the fancy thing about this. We can use Three.js with this. So I mean, that's the thing we use for this. So we're just going to open this, and we're going to open it like this in VS Code, and there we go. So okay, here's our project. So what this does is we have our asset here, right? Our rotator component. Right, it creates it like this. It gives you your functions, the lifecycle functions for the project, for the for the component. So what we do is we want, for instance, to set a speed. So we can do prop. We want a number, and we want to set it to speed. We say equals. Let's say a default of 0.5, something like that, right? And let's remove these ones because we don't need to start or awake anything, right? The awake, these previous ones, this one runs before any rendering, this one runs on first render, this one runs every frame, right? So that's like sort of like Unity, the same thing. So now we will do is this dot. Well, first I'll show you this. Right, when we save this, you can see that the field is there. So now we have a field, very nice thing there. Now we can do is we do this dot object 3D, and we do rotate y, rotate with the speed, and here's the fancy thing about the framework, right? The framework, the Rogue Engine framework, gives you certain functions that help you to kind of help you to do some things like this, like get the delta time. You usually would have to calculate and do everything, do a whole setup of everything in a scene in order for this to work with plain Three.js. So now we're writing, this is plain Three.js inside a component that gives you all these little shortcuts, right? But the code you write is basically all Three.js. So now what we do is just come here, we set play, right? And now we see our code, our little cube rotating, right? So, and well, there's the fancy thing, right? We can move this on the editor here, right? We can just change it. We can move it to something like this and keep moving it with the arrows here. And it keeps going up, right? Going down, like that. So yeah, that's more or less how it works. Right, so we can add as many as we want of these components, and we can move them around, right? Because the order, the thing we will call them like this, right? To make it. The thing is, components run in a certain order. So if you have a component that's at the top, it will run this one first, then this one, right? So cascade. So yeah, that's basically it for the components, I think. oh well, obviously you can inside this inside the component you can import any kind of node module you want, because you have the package JSON here. You can install npm, whatever npm package you want, like, you know, you can do npm install Lodash, right? I don't know, say something, I don't know, and it will install Lodash because you just want to kill your project with bloatware. So yeah, there you go. There you go, you have Lodash now in your project. You can import it inside your component and do whatever you want with it. That's basically what it does. So now, okay, let's see something fancier, right? So you have we have the Rogue marketplace here, right, which is just a marketplace. It's using cloud functions, so I had to open it before to make sure it was, you know, if it's not receiving a usage in the moment, it starts getting sleep. So yeah, it needs to be awake. So right, I can, as you can see, there's only one package here, right? But I can search. I did a whole search thing here, so you have like rogue whatever, right? So you can search for this, you'll find obviously, right? If you search for nothing, it'll just throw you everything we have, but there's nothing there because it's brand new. It's just one that I built, right? It's me there, right? And well, here also there's a dashboard. You can see that I have my own the component that I published, right? When you first do a component, it shows you if it's published or not. And now here you see that it's trying to find my bulk packages, but I didn't buy anything because there's nothing to sell, so I didn't buy anything. Big surprise, isn't it? So right, and well, I can view it from here as well. Okay, so you can see here, shows me the weight and everything. I can write the whole docs to this. I show how different things of the component work and the contents. I can, you know, do all these things, fancy stuff. Okay, it also shows me the dependencies that will be installed with this component. So basically, you can decide, okay, with a package that you selling here, you can, well, in this case, give it out for free. You can decide to install certain npm dependencies. So now I will install this package here, which will probably take a while because it's quite lightweight. But the thing is, you know, cloud functions. So yeah, it's downloading. It was quite fast. Okay, probably people using it. Okay, so there you go. So now we have it here. It installs it right in front of us, and as you can see, it shows us that it comes with a scene attached, and we can play our little scene and try it out, see how it works. You know, kind of fancy, very nice. Yeah. So each one of these has a component attached, right? That here in our little package, right? And you can create these packages, right? And for instance, this overlay is not part of the editor. This is an extension of the editor, right? By creating a script inside this underscore editor folders, these are not compiled with your code. So this stuff gets this stuff, whatever you put inside underscore editor, gets only compiled by the editor. So it's only used in these components are let's say part of your experience in the editor. You can do anything with them basically. In this case, I'm just grabbing whatever is selected by the user and adding this outline to show the colliders where different objects will be falling over them, right? So like that, right? Okay, and another fancy thing we have here, right, is this thing, right? We can refresh this and all, but this is actually the network, the local network with the port there, and we can just click this and open it in right in our browser, and we can test our scene in the browser, right, which is kind of nice because we can also grab this IP and open it in any mobile device you have, right, or any other computer in your local network. so you can test your scenes in your local network easily. Right, and the marketplace is also accessible through website, just like that, right? So you have like this, it just doesn't allow you to install it, obviously, because there's nothing to install here. There's no one to install it. Yeah, so that's that. I think for this, let me show you something a bit fancier. Yeah, let's go back to the free cam, because it's really starts me off. There's also like theming. I like this theme. I created these default ones, but you can create your own. You can start building your own themes. I built these two here, but very ugly one there. Okay, that's it. Right. So then okay, let's open another project. I have a mess of projects right here, but let's go to the classic one, to the row space shooter. This was a classic one because I think it's the first one I built. As you can see, it opens quite fast. It builds really fast. Like projects load super fast. It's just it shows you stuff quickly and then starts compiling the code and doing all these things with it, with JavaScript and the Webpack and all that. So you can start playing around with your scene and do whatever you want before anything is loaded. Then it's every time it's watching your file, so it doesn't go around trying to reload everything back again. So it's super fast while you are developing. It takes just an instant to build. Yeah, basically we're going to play with a scene here. We can open a scene, and you can see here we have, for instance, our UI, right? Our UI, which has the UI component here, right? Which is basically using just HTML, plain HTML, to render the stuff in our scene. Just one of the, I think it's one of the fancy things with this, that you can use HTML right directly on your stuff, on your games, right? I added a system to make it easy to add HTML to your projects, right? With a UI div, basically, to just attach any kind of UI. They will treat it as game UI, basically. Okay, that's what it does. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open. But we have the scene open, so you can play this scene, so you can see what the game is about. This one has sound. I don't know if this thing has the audio. Yeah, it doesn't have it. Okay, let's just show it to you just real quick, just so you can see. Right. So here's the asset manager as well. This one is very fancy because this one will help you load your assets either asynchronously or before everything is loaded, right? So you can load everything, right? But download all your files at the beginning, and you can download it as needed. Like this one, everything is set up to be loaded as it's needed, right? So like right here, right now, like every time I click here, like the bullets were downloaded, right? And then everything was downloaded as soon as it was required, right? Which is a very web-like solution, right? You can have your files in your you can have your files in your like in your servers stored there, and you don't have to worry about the whole game being downloaded every single time someone hits play, because maybe they didn't want to play it, they didn't like it at the beginning, and you have like 30 scenes with 1,000 files, and you know the whole thing's not downloaded. So that's pretty good. That's and it's a simple web solution that everyone uses. Just handling it, doing all the heavy lifting for you in the background, and you have an API, like a local, like or an engine API to access this and work around with it and see when things are being loaded and all that. That's I think that's it for this one. Let me show you just another quick example here of something else. I think I have one. Yeah, this one's nice. Because I grabbed doesn't have physics yet because I was working on that. But I was playing around with this one a lot. This one, it's I made. Oh, it's loading. So yeah, it's building the files. But this one I actually created with using the a package, an asset package by Kenny. This is great 3D modeler out there, just making great assets. You probably know about him, I don't know, but I don't know if he's quite popular because he makes just great stuff, and he has lots of free assets. So yeah, this is great, very nice assets. He makes low poly stuff. Recently was working on a PlayStation 1, very nice. So PlayStation 1 looking assets, very cool. Yeah, this is not it obviously, right? But yeah, so you see there like decals, and now I'm reloading the gun. So this is kind of an FPS kind of thing with a very, kind of, yeah, just shitting stuff around, right? Yeah, basically that, right, it has all these controls for the FPS. And the cool thing about this is that you can kind of work with your in your scene pretty easily. Which is the difference with 3.js. You have to write everything, all of these you have to kind of create it and then serialize it and then load it somewhere. In this case, your scene is just serialized for you in this little file here, and you can just load it in time, right? So that's the cool thing about it, right? And in fact, we can, for instance, like not here, sorry. We can just create, for instance, just want to build this, right? So we do a build for web and just loads it, and that's it. There you go. Like there's your project, but that's it. That fast, right? So yeah, you can grab this. For instance, this is being served on your. That's a cool thing. This is being served directly, so you can try. You can try this directly on your browser, like using the same thing you would use here, right? So let's open it like this so you can see, this side here. Okay, so but let's do it like this. So we do this, and I can open it here for you, right? So your project actually, since it's built inside your project folder, this is the build project. This is the one that you will see in the internet, on the internet, right? This is one you can use to go to the internet directly and serve it from your server, right? Because this is just a website, it just generates a website for you you can load. And the idea behind the cloud builds that I want to add is that this website could be just uploaded directly to a storage service, and that's it being loaded, which is now this is something I have in development, right? So basically you would come here and do this, and instead of build for web, you just build the cloud and you just upload it, and you can show it to your friends and brag about how cool you are because you make games. Yeah, that's it basically. I think that's all. I'm covering most things about the editor. I think yeah, that's most of the stuff that you can do here. There's probably a lot more that I'm just not talking about. Well, yeah, the skybox, it comes with the skybox by default, and well, there's lots of other tools, but I think this is the important stuff, right? You can just bring your assets directly into the scene, right? This is a 3D model, right? It's just imported into my project, and I just decided to bring it in there, right? That's obviously the hierarchy when you can move around, right? It's just like the same thing about every other game engine, I think. But yeah, that's it. So thank you very much, and very nice making this video, and hope you enjoyed it, and well, see you later.